The focus of this video will be the contractor's perspective in adding and updating submittal items to VPO for processing and review by both the construction manager and the engineer. Once you log in to VPO, you should be brought to a home page in which you will see either one or multiple job profiles with pictures of each. The more pictures and profiles you see here, the more projects you are a part of. Let's start by getting into the project that you wish to enter a submittal item into. So scroll over that project, click on the profile, and you'll be brought to that project homepage, in which you can scroll up to the project workflows, drop down to your submittals, and here, depending on your default views, you should see the active submittals by ball and court, which means this is only going to show you the items that are open and whose court they're in. In this case, it would be the contractor's court with Sukit. Another view to help organize all your approved items. If you're looking for something to print up for the contractor or some kind of a CQA manager that's out in the field, you can find that under the all approved submittals here. And this will give you a quick list of everything that's approved on the job. And if you want to find something by the name of it, you can just do a quick search. And it should bring up a list of anything that has the words you search for. Please note that when you're using the search bar, you will only be able to search for items for the current view in which you are searching. For instance, if you are under the active submittals by ball and court and you search for an item that has been approved, you are not going to find that item because that item has not been approved. Some of the other views that you may have access to could be found under this ellipsis here, and they include any approved submittals in the last 7 days, or any submittals by status, or the meeting view item here will basically give you a list of discussions for each specific item that have occurred since that item has been in or out of review. So depending on your access rights, you may have access to some versus others. So these views are just a different way of organizing your information and making it easier on yourself to find something. As far as the initial submittal of an item, you can come over to the ellipsis, drop down and click the All Submittals view. And if I'm the contractor, I'm looking for the item that I would like to submit. So again, if you go to the All Submittals, that item that you want should have already been generated by the construction manager in VPO. So you can basically scroll down to the item you're looking for. So right now I'm looking for a valves submittal. So right here we'll do a valves product data training. So we'll get into that. Once you're in the item, you can come up here to the click item option, and it's going to open this item and allow you to start filling out all these text fields that haven't already been generated by the construction manager. So when you're ready, you can get into this item, click on the submittal date. You can click on a planned start date on when you expect to have this item on site or when you plan to install it or anything like that. The review cycle, being that this is the first one, we'll click on the initial submittal. We'll get into the resubmittals in a minute. The phase would be construction. Under the comments or references, you can put what this submittal includes. If you are submitting more than one item within this package, please be sure to include that under the comments section as well, so the construction manager knows which items within this submittal log to include in the review. You want to make sure that you've read the certification statement and click on the checkbox here, confirming that you have. You, being the initiator and the submitter of this item, would put your name here. Your name would be here automatically, in which you would just click the sign button indicating that you are the actual person submitting this item. The ball in court, this is going to be where you want to send it to. So if you're going to send it to the construction manager, which you should be doing, you could put anybody that works within Simplus. So we'll send it to myself. The attachments section, you can do browse, go find whatever submittal you're submitting for review. Make sure that you click on the upload, because if you don't click upload and that item does not appear in this box right here, then when you save this item, it will not be included. So again, hit the upload prior to saving. The CC option here, you can CC anybody else you feel needs to be included, whether it's the office engineer or the owner. So this works similar to Microsoft Outlook as far as the CCs. So once you've completed all the information, you've checked all the boxes indicating you're the initiator, the certification statement, etc., you can go ahead and click save. And what this is going to do is this is going to send an email alert to the ball in court, letting them know that they now have a submittal in their court to review. So I mentioned the ball in court view earlier. So now if we click on this discussions by ball in court, you can see now that this item has been assigned to me and is currently unsubmitted until I go in here and start editing it, the status of in review. So once this submittal has been processed through the construction manager, then forwarded on to the engineer and reviewed, eventually it will get back to you, being the contractor, with some kind of review or comments on that item. So as I mentioned earlier, once this item is being returned to the contractor, you should get some kind of email notification telling you that you have an item in your court. Another way that you'll know this is if you go to your home page for the project that you're working on and you scroll down to the My Tasks down here, you can see that a submittal has now been processed and is now returned to you and back in your court. So if you click on that item here, it will take you to the submittal item in which you previously submitted. And now if you go to the review tab, you can see that the engineer, Cole Duncan, has reviewed this item. He's marked it conforms as noted with the resubmittal required, and his comments down here of what he's still looking for. Once the contractor is ready to resubmit this item, they can go back to the main submittals page. They can click on New Task. And this is going to bring them to a blank submittal form in which they can begin filling out all the revised information for that valve's submittal. Notice that being a revised submittal, we're going to put the submittal number, and then we're going to put an underscore R1 under that submittal number, indicating that this is now a revision to that item. So just continue through the text fields here. Submittal type. Again, the submittal date would be the day that you're submitting this revision. Planned start date. again. So you'll notice last time we clicked initial under the cycle. So being a revision, you can now click the resubmittal option there. Click on the certification statements box, phase, comments, you being the submitter. Again, you're automatically going to pop up. That's the account you're signed into. Click the sign button confirming you're the submitter. The ball in court would go back to the construction manager. You can list your attachments here. So now you're going to attach your R1. Be sure to click upload so it shows up, and then you can CC anybody who you think should be involved in the review process or would like to see this item. And when all that is completed, you can click save. And again, you'll notice the revision for this valves product is now in the construction manager's court. Once the construction manager gets this revised item, he will then automatically close the status of the original. Once the revision of this valves product data submittal has been processed and returned from both the engineer and the construction manager, the contractor will receive an email similar to this one here that states that it is now back in the contractor's court. The status has now been revised to no exceptions taken, and any comments you can see under the review comments here that per SWT this item is marked NET, and county confirmed there were no additional comments as well. So just to confirm, you can go back into VPO. You'll see there are no submittals under your tasks. You can also get into your project workflows and the submittals here. And you'll see that both the product data for the revised valves submittal does not show up, nor does the original. So the original was closed by the CM, and the revised valves product data submittal was approved. If you're interested in printing any submittals, whether they are approved or not approved, you can simply find the item you're looking for by going to any items in your court or any approved items. Click on the item you're interested in printing. Scroll up to the print option right here, and you will have a submittal of the comments for that particular item. You have options here to save it as a PDF or print it as a PDF or email it to any vendors or other parties that would be interested in seeing this. If you want to get a list of items that you'd like to print, you can simply go to the Submittals homepage, go up to list, and there's a print option here as well. You'll notice under this print option, with this drop down, you have several layouts to choose from, whether it's approved submittals in the last 7 days, the discussions view. This will give you the update on where it's been in the history of that item. Any late submittals, you can print all submittals, etc. So with all that being said, that will conclude the submittals module from the contractor's point of view.